welcome back. Today we're moving into Unit 5, which the first lesson we're doing is 5.1, and we're going to be talking about bisectors. So let's jump into it. All right, so you guys have heard this term before, and I want you guys to remember when you read the word bisect in geometry, bisect means that it's going to cut something into two equal parts. It's cutting it initially in half. So again, when you read the word bisect or bisector, it means it's cutting something into two equal parts. So like on this first one right here, it says a segment bisector. So looking at a segment bisector, it bisects or cuts a segment into two equal parts. So right now, if you look, this line right now is, this line right here is cutting the segment into two equal parts. It's cutting that into two equal parts. So this line is going to be equal to that one. So they're equal to each other, okay? Same thing over here, an angle bisector. It bisects the angle into two equal parts. So line C right now is cutting line AOB into two equal parts. So that means this angle would then be equal to that one. So one more time, bisect means cuts in half. So let's look at our examples, and then we'll work some of these out to prove that some of them are going to be bisectors. All right, so looking at example number 1 here. It says, in the figure below, line AM is 25 centimeters. What is the length of AB? So I know from A to M is going to be 25 centimeters. I know that line DC is bisecting that because both of these are going to be equal to each other. So that means if from A to M, halfway is 25, that means from D to B is also going to be 25. And it wants my whole length of AB. So the whole length of AB is just going to be 25 plus 25, which is going to give you 50. So AB is going to equal 50 centimeters because this line's cutting it into two equal parts. So the whole thing would be 50, okay? All right, now look at example number 2. It says in the figure below, angle AOB is 37 degrees. What is the measure of AOC? So right now in this example, OC line is bisecting it, cutting it into two equal parts. So that means right now it says AOB. This whole angle right now is going to be 37 degrees. So that means this line's cutting it in half, so this angle and this angle would be equal to each other, but it's going to be half of what 37 is. So what is AOC? So it wants me to find, let me do it in a different color, it wants me to find AOC. So it wants me to find this angle. So that means since that is bisecting it, all I have to do is 37 divided by 2, okay? So half of 36 is 18, and then I gotta do half of that, so it's gonna be 18.5. So 37 divided by 2 would be 18.5 degrees. So all I did was I took the whole angle and divided it by 2, okay? So because that's an angle bisector. All right, next thing we're gonna look at is example number 3 here. So it says segment MN is bisected by line XY. So I'm gonna go ahead and just draw that. So I have segment M to N. So this is my segment M and N, and it is being bisected. So this is gonna be about my middle point. It is being bisected by line XY, okay? Which intersects at point M, or at point J, sorry, okay? So it says M to J is going to be 4x plus 10, and it says N to J is going to be 10x minus 8. Well, I know since XY is bisecting that line, I know that this line is going to be congruent to this line. So that means line MJ is going to be equal to line JN. And now all I have to do is just plug in both of those and solve for x. So let's go and do that down here. So I got 4x plus 10 is going to be equal to 10x minus 8. So I'm going to subtract 4x on both sides, which will give me 6x. I'm going to add 8 on both sides, which will give me 18. I'm going to divide by 6. So x is going to end up giving me 3. All right, last on example number 4. So it says AOB is going to be 48. So the whole thing right now is going to be 48 degrees. COB is going to be equal 3x plus 9. So the whole thing is going to be 48 degrees. And then COB, so this angle right here, is going to equal 3x plus 9. Okay, so what is the value of x? So right now I know that OC is going to be bisecting the angle. So that means it's going to be cutting it into 2 equal parts. So that means this angle, COB, is going to be half of what 48 is because it's cutting it in half. So half of 48 is going to give you 24. So that means 3x plus 9 is going to equal 24. So I'm going to subtract 9 on both sides, which is going to end up giving me 15. I'm going to divide by 3 on both sides, which is going to give me 5. So x is going to give you 5. Okay? So ladies and gentlemen, that's how we use the definition of bisectors, means cutting it in half to solve problems. Okay? So I'll jump over your skill checks.